welcome back to the Voice Box. I'm Sinako.
And I'm Benjamin.
Yeah, and this is the Voice Box. So, for those of you who are joining us for the first time and don't know what the Voice Box is, welcome firstly. And Benj, what is the Voice Box?
I guess, look, it's basically a safe space, first and foremost. A safe space which allows us to have conversations about the most controversial topics that you don't usually find in our societies, or rather people just don't speak about. And this is just a space where we get to learn and unlearn. And yeah, the most important thing is that it is a safe space, and we're just trying to unpack all these problematic opinions.
That's right. So, if you're here for the first time, please hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, and don't be afraid to share your thoughts down below.
Don't be shy.
Yes, so what are we talking about today, man?
So today will just be part 2, or rather an extension of our last topic that we spoke about. It is obviously toxic masculinity. A lot of things were said, and of course, if you just go back to our comments in there, you'd realize that people were very much touched by a lot of things which were mentioned.
Yes.
Hence,
Definitely.
we saw the need to basically have another episode of that. Just what we learned, basically, I think.
And I feel like we always knew it would be a controversial topic, and that people obviously would have different opinions. Even my opinion can differ from yours.
Yeah.
We are different people, and so there was one particular individual that we got a lot of questions in the DMs about, and people were just very surprised or shocked.
I actually like that in Mfetu, because although we are all men, right? But like you said, we're all coming from different walks of life.
Definitely.
Right, and therefore our experiences of toxic masculinity were bound to be different as well. Right, although we are all men, like I'm saying, but our experiences will be different. And I quite like the vast opinions, or rather the vast approach which came from us, and I quite liked it, although I did not agree with most of the things which were not said.
Which were said, rather.
Yeah, which were said, definitely. What did you think I was saying?
You said which were not said.
Oh, no, which were said, thank you. And I think for the most part, for me, I don't know about you, but I think I'm glad we had that conversation, because you get to see the constant need, from us as men to speak about these things, because as much as we're friends and we speak about these things, but I think, broadcasting them to a wider audience where there's going to be other gents as well, which probably have similar conversations, just to gauge what people think about this. But yeah, what did you learn from it?
Ooh, what did I learn? Firstly is that not everyone sees the world as I do. I feel like that was a rude awakening.
Yeah.
Where do I begin?
You okay, man?
Yeah, I'm not okay. I'm triggered.
Yeah.
First thing that I've learned is that we definitely need to have more conversations about masculinity. Just that specifically for now, right? Because I don't think that me personally I've ever had a dialogue with 4 gents where we're talking about masculinity.
Cool. Yeah.
That's not a common occurrence. And therefore, I think it's something very necessary.
Yeah.
Because of what was said.
Yeah.
I also learned that a lot of people don't want to take accountability, for their actions, because I don't know if you listen back to the conversation, but when I watched the video, Ulukanyo said a lot of things, and from what he was saying, or what I could gather, there was one common denominator, and that is that he would blame other things rather than want to take accountability.
Okay, I'm with you.
For example, he said when we were saying that more men need to get involved in
the protests,
the gender-based violence, and he was like, no, but I hate a feminism that rejects men, right?
Okay.
But then we asked him, like, dude, what about the vast majority of feminists who are saying, men, we need you, we need your help in order to tackle these issues, right? So he chose to ignore that and do the easy thing, which is find, you know, an easy way out, because there's one person who's saying, hey, no, as feminists we don't want you,
I'm
which
with
is
you,
not
I'm with
feminism, just by the way, you know. Yeah, so for me that's just a way of blaming other things, you know. It's very easy to blame culture.
Okay,
He spoke
sure.
about language, you know, but at the end of the day you do understand English, you know. So as much as you may not be able to express it in your mother tongue
Fully,
exactly fully, you have English. You are able to learn in English. When you go to a tertiary institution, you are able to get a degree in English, right? Which means you have a good understanding of the language. So I don't think that language is that big of a problem that for you personally not to be able to do something. You know, I feel like that's just an excuse in order not to take a hard look at yourself.
Sure,
you know,
I'm with
and those around you, you know. Yeah, that's what I've learned. What did you learn?
I like the fact that you mentioned the issue of not taking accountability, because for me it was not necessarily about that, but how uncomforting, you know, some of us felt when we were being called out, right? And I genuinely want to emphasize is that let's not exhaust calling each other out, Jen, especially for us as Gens, right? Let us not exhaust that thing of calling each other out. Look, it's going to be an uncomforting thing, you know, and I guess you cannot feel comfortable from a system that is oppressive and which a system that you benefit from yourself. You know what I mean? But I think there's a constant need for us to call each other out. Let's normalize saying, Fetu, what you're doing is wrong, and abstain from it. You know what I mean? I guess that also links with that accountability that that you spoke about. And I think from another thing that I don't think that I had paid attention to this enough. Maybe I have, but I think I was very triggered by that particular part on how we as men feel entitled to women's bodies, dog. That touched me on the highest level. I remember there was an opinion that you are just entitled to someone's body and that's it.
It does nothing.
It does nothing.
It's nothing.
I was like,
He
dog,
said it's nothing.
That for me was a very huge thing. And also, guys, we're not trying to attack Ulukanya, but we're just unpacking the conversation, right?
Exactly.
And I genuinely had a problem with that particular statement, amongst other things which were said. But I think that for me was, yeah, I left home, I went home, and I was still like, that was definitely like lingering in my mind. And you get to see how we as men feel entitled to women's bodies everywhere, dog. Everywhere. It's a constant curse. It's a constant issue that I would genuinely like us to unlearn, you know. But yeah, like you said, I think this conversation should definitely not be, it shouldn't be left out in our everyday life. And I guess doing that constant introspection from us and seeing how we can become better individuals, and most importantly, not be harmful to ourselves and to our society at large.
And you know, on the topic of calling each other out, I think another thing that we need to realize or bring to people's attention is that you need to be willing to lose friends.
Definitely,
as well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because not everyone is willing to change. You know?
Sure.
I might call you out, for example, Ngomso, or today, and you might be like, no, there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. And at the end of the day, I need to make a decision.
Sure.
Okay, do I really want to associate with Umdonje?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, because there's no use in calling someone out, them not changing their behavior, and then you continuing to be friends with them or whatever. You know, it just doesn't make sense, Kum.
This actually reminds me of the protest we went to on Saturday. So we went to a protest, a gender-based violence protest. It was a march to Parliament. And I remember one of the speakers, Pana, was saying that that men, it shouldn't end on saying Matota Sabelani,
Exactly.
yet your friends are still, you know, rapey and what, like they're still normalizing rape culture, and you're not saying anything about it because they are your friends, you know.
Exactly.
And I guess that's where that willingness, you know, to go the extra mile and lose people in that journey of unlearning, you know what I mean?
I don't even think it's the extra mile, dude. I just think it's common decency.
And definitely.
So, sure, it may not be common, you know, where we live.
Sure,
you know, in
sure,
the world
sure.
that we live in, but I feel like it should be. It's wrong, Fit. Just as, hey, Kanen,
What?
look, I just said, yeah, we should be careful to drawing to racism.
Oh,
I
okay.
was about to draw, like, for example, if you had, if you knew someone, let's say you're friends with Mike, for example. Mike is white.
Jacques
Jacques
is a very white.
Okay, you're friends with Jacques.
Jacques, yeah.
And you find out or discover that Jacques is racist. Would you still be friends with Jacques?
I wouldn't.
Exactly.
I
Why?
definitely wouldn't. Because I mean, why? Well, how is that even a question, dog? Why?
Hmm?
I guess the comparison between that and okay, cool. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like it should be a norm to do such. But yeah,
I guess for me the key note or the key word is definitely that willingness. I think even from those who are trying to call the other person out, obviously it's going to be the willingness to lose friends. But I think from the person who's being called out, they have to be willing now by themselves to learn. You know what I mean?
Yes.
To take the journey of saying, you know what, I'm being called out, I was wrong, and let me change my behavior. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing, because it makes no sense you having a conversation with the other person and then they don't change.
Exactly.
Of course, that's not your responsibility if they don't change, but at least you would have delivered the message.
Plant the seed.
Exactly.
Plant the seed.
You know what I mean?
That's what's important. So yeah, so guys, please let us know what you thought about our previous video. Let us know what you learned, and yeah, like, subscribe,
And comment
down below.
Yeah.
Any last words from you?
No, I guess I don't think we should ever stop saying this to our viewers. And guys, we are genuinely grateful for the support that you guys have been giving us.
Definitely.
You guys are really engaging on our channel. If not, you guys are always sending us DMs on our socials. And siyabulele mana kakhulu guys, nisenza abantu, and we are really, really grateful about that. And
Yeah, and also please let us know if there are any topics that you would like us to cover on our channel. We've already received a few.
Yeah, no. we have.
So yeah, just keep them coming, guys. Thank you so much for the support. Until
What are we gonna speak about next?
I'm not sure.
We had a conversation about it.
Discuss
I think we had about 3 topics, but we.
Do you want to speak about culture versus
religion? No, I think it should be something that relates to these 2 conversations, the one from today and the one that we had, so that there's a bit of a pattern. I'd like for us to have like a theme, consistency in that. Speaking of consistency, we need to record more often.
Okay.
Why
are you saying that? Like
no, because we are in this together.
Okay.
It just makes it really difficult, guys, because we both work full time.
Yeah, this is a private conversation. Why are you airing out dirty laundry?
I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, cut.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, until next time, have a good one.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.